Gold, a shiny valuable metal that's the backbone of many of the world's economies. When you think about wealth, there is a good chance gold pop into mind, and we wouldn't hold that against you. But what if we told you there is a lot more to gold than meets the eye? Hello and welcome back to Only Pay. We'll be discussing about things you didn't know about gold. Be sure to watch all the way to the end. If you are new to the channel, then hit the subscribe button below from the life-changing content. Number 1. It's malleable and ductile. Gold is extremely malleable and it can be rolled into very thin sheets. Gliding or gold leafing is centuries-old technique. Raw gold was beaten between pieces of leather by traditional astrain until it was so thin it was nearly transparent. A single ounce of gold can be hammered thin enough to cover a face of area. For more than 9 square meters, that's 96.9 square feet, the gold leaf can be thin as 0.18 microns or 7 millionths of an inch, making a stack of 7,055 sheets no more than a centimeter thick. It can also be thinned down to the thinnest of wires. 1 ounce of gold can be pulled into 80 km or 50 miles of gold wire. Measuring 5 microns thick, a micron is the measurement of millionths of the meter. The diameter of the sample is only 0.2 millimeters or 0.008 inches. Number 2. Chinese royalty. The Chinese gold mining sector is also the world's largest national gold producer. In addition to being the world's largest importer and consumer of gold, China produced 453.2 tons of gold from mining operation in 2016. According to China Gold Association, keeping its positions as the world's greatest gold producer for the 10th year in a row since 2007. China's annual gold mining output has increased by 62%, first surpassing 300 ton in 2009, then 400 ton in 2011. By 2014, it had been produced total of 478 tons of gold, a new high. Number 3. Glittering oceans. Are you looking for gold or on the lookout for the next gold rush? Well, the oceans are fantastic location to look, but it's not as simple as gold planning. Around 20 million tons of gold can be found in ocean water around the world. And when I say I am referring to the fact that there's gold in the ocean water, unfortunately because the concentration is on the order of parts per trillion obtaining. It is quite challenging. There is currently no cost-effective method for extracting gold from seawater that is economical. However, many eagers, innovators and investors, both real and fraudulent, will not be discouraged. Number 4. Ancient gold. Diamonds may last forever, but refined gold has only been around since 4500 BC. At last, astrologists believe the gold bead as big as the 1/8 of inch discovered the Bulgaria dates back to the time period. According to the rituals, King Charis Mephos, the tiny jewelry is thought to be the oldest piece of processed gold ever discovered in Europe. If not the world, the Varna gold, a cache of gold discovered in an acropolis outside of the Black Sea port of Varna, is likely to proceed. The previous earliest gold item, archaeologists discovered 13 pounds of gold. Objects buried in the Neapolis between 1972 and 1991. The cache in Varna is a bit of mystery. The locals thought that farmers who had come from the Anatolia Peninsula only a few centuries before, so it's still a mystery how they were able to accomplish copper and gold melting in such short period of time. If the dating is correct, this new bead will stretch their metalwork mystery back to 200 years. Number 5. Not the most expensive. Gold actually isn't the most expensive metal in the world. Palladium and rhodium are the most expensive metal discovered on the earth, each costing significantly more than gold. Rhodium is a silver, white metallic element that is highly reflective and corrosion resistant, and it costs a lot more than gold or platinum as the world's rarest and most valuable precious metal. Rhodium is primarily used in automotive catalytic converters, which minimize the number of nitrogen oxide discharged into the atmosphere. Palladium, on the other hand, has seen a surge in demand as automobile emission rules have been tightened the popularity of petrol. Automobiles with palladium catalytic converters over diesel vehicle with platinum catalytic converters has also contributed to its rise in demand. Number 6. Every cloud has gold lining. A new study has found that earthquakes have a Midas touch according to a model published in the March 17th issue of the journal Nature Genesis. Water in faults evaporates during an earthquake, depositing gold according to Dion Weatherly and geophysicist at the University of Queensland in Australia. And the study's primary author, the model provides a quantitative mechanism for the link between gold and quartz seen in many of the world's gold deposits. When an earthquake occurs, it travels along the fault, which is a rupture in the ground. Many minor cracks can be found throughout the length of large fault, which are being joined by jugs that appears as a rectangular voids. Faults are frequently lubricated by water, which fills up with fissures and jogs. Number 7. Invisible gold. Gold is indestructible. As it stands, it's not possible to destroy gold on a molecular level with any naturally occurring substance on Earth. Pure gold is virtually indestructible. It's not corrode, rust, or tarnished, and fire cannot destroy. It is why all of the gold extracted from the earth is still melted and remelted and used over and over again. A great example is the Perth Mint in Australia, which produces well-known silver and gold bullion coins. They host a public coin pour multiple times a day since 1993. They have melted and recasted the same gold bar over 65,000 times. Throughout this time, none of the recast gold has been invocable, destroyed. Nuclear reaction are the only way to gold can be genuinely destroyed. However, using aqua regia, a mixture of hydraulic and nitric acid, it is possible to dissolve gold. But even still, this doesn't imply the gold is ruined as a result of exposure. It instead occurs a gold particle in a more widely scattered from after dissolving. Number 8. An edible metal. Since ancient times, gold has been utilized in medicines, dentistry, and the food decoration elements. Gold is chemically inert and it doesn't easily decompose, but experts claim that pure edible gold doesn't degrade or disintegrate in the bloodstream, and as also results it excreted from the body as waste product. However, not much is said that edible gold, and the lot relies on how much of it consume gold, and nanoparticles on the other hand may cause hypersensitivity to metals. If administered directly, and it might cause damage to cell membranes, but when it comes to eating edible gold flake in drinking sweets or delicious, the gold particles are large, making it difficult for them to get through cell membranes and cause any damage, and as a result it's throughout to be safe in consumption. It just might glimmer on the way down the toilet when you flush. Number 9. Golden humans. The human body is made up of numerous different elements. The gold is one of the lesser known ones. A person with 70 kg body would have total mass of 0.2 mg of gold within them. If a trace amount of gold is transformed into a solid cube of refined gold, it will measure as 0.22 mm, and the actual point of human body containing gold has recently been determined. It plays a vital role in health and maintenance of joints. And even more interestingly, being a good conductor of electricity, it helps in transmitting electrical signals throughout the body. Number 10. Extreme creation. Gold owes its status as a precious metal to its rarity. All of the gold mined throughout history would fit into a square box with side around 20 meters in length, and that's not because of failure to mine more. Gold is rare throughout the universe because its relatively hefty atom consisting of 79 protons and 118 neutrons and make it hard to produce. Even in incredible heat and pressure of the chemical forges of a supernova, the death of giant star responsible for creating most chemical elements, there is even skepticism over a supernova's ability to do the job. According to the new study, even more violent occurrences like collisions between neutron star and dead stars, ultra-dense cores may be required, so it's no surprise this stuff is pretty pricey. Number 11. Mined away. According to the most recent estimates, roughly 238 tons of gold have been mined throughout history, with around two-thirds mined since 1950. And because gold is practically indestructible, almost all of it still around in some form or another. Of every ounce of gold was put next to each other, and resulting tube of pure gold would only be 22 meters long on either side. New technology might make it variable to extract some known deposits that are currently inaccessible due to cost. Big data, artificial intelligence, and smart data mining are some of the most recent breakthroughs, all of which have potential to improve operations and save cost. Robotics are already being utilized at several mine exploration sites, and they are likely to become more common in future. Number 12. Excrement of the gods. Gold had symbolic and spiritual significance of the Aztecs and many of other groups people in ancient America. In fact, the word for gold is nahuatl, the dialect of Aztec of Mexican and Teocurico, which means excrement of God's gold, was associated with leadership, power, wealth, and authority. The Aztec emperor, whose train stretched and the Pacific Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico in the 16th century, had complete control over gold mines and industries within his domain. Despite an Aztec leadership, the religious connection of gold, previous metal, was only helpful to individuals. When it was fashioned into jewelry or other spiritual symbols, in ancient Aztec society, gold was primarily used for personal decoration, and although some pieces encapsulated sophisticated religious symbolism, many of them items are just plain in simple jewelry pieces. Number 13. An alchemist's dream. The eternal quest of alchemists to change base metal into gold was actually achieved to a certain degree in Soviet nuclear reactors, where radioactivity transformed some lead nuclear into gold. In the 1970s, it was found that Russia's nuclear research reactor on the shore of Lake Baikal had developed small fragment of gold on the lead. Shielding these particles of gold had been formed by the intense energy of the nuclear reaction, displacing protons from the lead atoms on the surface of the reactor. Shields. This was one of the earliest examples of lead to gold transformations and pursuit of centuries of alchemic experimentations. Number 14. Gold producing bacteria. Gold, like many other elements, can undergo biochemical cycle in which it dissolves, redistributed, and eventually reconcentrated in Earth's sediment. No other life form on the planet has been successful in affiliating every environment as bacteria. Microscopic single cells, and some of these bacteria are expert at cleaning precious metal, which is one of their numerous roles in life on Earth. cooperative metal endurance, a metal-eating bacterium, has been discovered to be able to swallow hazardous metal compound while still having the producing microscopic gold nuggets as a side effect. According to the international team of research, could this be the next big breakthrough of conquest for more gold? Number 15. Alien gold. Gold prices are reaching seemingly unworldly high these days, which may be appropriate given study that concluded nearly all the gold we humans treasure was like delivered to the earth by gigantic planetoids that collide with earth late in its development. Sometime 4.5 billion years ago, the discoveries add to the growing body of evidence suggesting that gold, platinum and palladium and other iron-loving metals found into the crust of metal of earth. The Moon and Mars come from impactors and size of many planets during our solar panel system. Last phase of planet formation according to several research from credible institutions. This gigantic collision occurred within 10 of millions of years of considerably larger impact and generated over Moon, and that's all from us today. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And be sure to turn on bell notification so you don't miss any video just like this one. If you enjoy this video, please give us your thoughts in the comment below and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.